This is the Amtrak-owned southbound local service to Miami. The next station stop will be Buxton. Now, there are some new laws and policies coming to YouTube, and I'm going to discuss how it may or may not negatively affect my channel, and also discuss my feelings on the matter. Now, since I'm also the conductor of this train and doing the announcements for it, I will pause briefly to do those and then get back to what I'm talking about. So, let's take a trip from Nags Head to Ocracoke as I discuss what's going on with YouTube. Stand clear of the doors. So, I was going to upload a video to YouTube when I was greeted with the horrifying message asking me if I marked my channel as made for kids or not, and explaining to me that I'm required by law to do so now, apparently. Now, at first I was going to say, oh, it's a no-brainer, this channel is kid-friendly, so I guess you could say made for kids, but then I wasn't so sure because it said that if I mark it as made for kids, comments will be disabled on the video, personalized ads, and a bunch of other stuff that are needed for me to make money will also be disabled. So I'm not really sure if I want to mark it as that. For now, I've marked it as not made for kids, and I may even end up having to speak with a lawyer for legal advice on the matter, which is probably going to cost a lot. Welcome to the Amtrak-owned southbound local service to Miami. We will be making stops at Buxton, Ocracoke Village, Cape Lookout National Seashore, Atlantic Beach, Surf City, Carolina Beach, Caswell Beach, Myrtle Beach International Airport, Georgetown, Mount Pleasant, Cape Romaine, Charleston, Kawa Island, Hunting Island Lighthouse, Leamington Lighthouse, Harbor Town, Hilton Head Lighthouse, High Point, Tibby Island, Sapelo Lighthouse, St. Simon's Island, Little Cumberland Island, Amelia Island, Jacksonville Beach, St. Augustine, Daytona Beach, Cape Canaveral Lighthouse, Jupiter, West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, Hillsborough Inlet, Fort Lauderdale Beach, and Miami. Now let me explain briefly why I may have to speak with a legal advisor. Apparently, if YouTube finds that your channel is made for kids and you mark that it's not made for kids, you could get fined $42,000. Which, to put that into perspective, you can actually get a house for around that much where I live. Just one fine of that much would put me out of business. I'd probably have to close my YouTube account if I received the fine that high. I'd be paying that off for the rest of my life, and it probably still wouldn't be paid off by then. Now, they're not just targeting channels that are specifically made for children, they're apparently also targeting channels that kids might be interested in. So in this channel, I play a train simulator. Basically how this works apparently is, since some kids might watch a train simulator, that also might count as made for kids, and then I would lose a lot of money off of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Amtrak now offers service to the Bodie Island Lighthouse via the North Carolina Department of Transportation. To access the Bodie Island Lighthouse, transfer at Buxton to any northbound local Shinkansen, and then transfer at Nags Head to any southbound North Carolina Department of Transportation train. Now, as I was saying, if I only made 10% of $1,000, which is the amount I normally make in a month, then I would only be making $100 per month, which is a huge dip in payment, really. If I was working for a company and they randomly dropped my payment from $1,000 to $100, I'd probably quit. The least amount of money I've ever made on YouTube, which was back when my channel wasn't as popular as it is now, was $150. So if I only made 10% of that, that would only be $15 per month, which isn't even enough for Google AdSense to pay you, because they don't pay you until you make at least $100. So I'd be pretty much screwed at that point. That bridge we just crossed brought us from Bodie Island to Hatteras Island. We're now on our way to Buxton. Man, I never even heard of the FTC, but now I really hate them because they're trying to make it as difficult as possible to make money online. By the way, we're about to approach a railroad crossing. That's North Carolina Highway 12. I was going to put an overpass there, but the tracks are too low for that. And I didn't want to have to put North Carolina 12 further below ground, below sea level, because then it would get buried in sand every hurricane. So I just lifted it up to cross the tracks. Really, I think we should stop voting people in office that are so old they have no idea how the universe works in today's time. We should start voting younger people in office that actually have a clue how YouTube works. Now, I can understand, kind of, why you wouldn't want websites collecting data on minors, but, me as a YouTuber, I don't even have access to the data. Only YouTube has access to this data. So why are we, the YouTubers, getting punished when we can't even collect the data in the first place? And really, what's the harm in collecting data just to know which ad to sell to someone? Honestly, as a kid, I would have loved if the channels that I watched knew exactly which ad I wanted to watch, so I wouldn't have to watch a bunch of ads that I didn't care about, waiting patiently for the show to come back on. Now, parents, if you're watching this, it is not YouTube's fault if you didn't teach your kids any street smarts on how to how to be on the internet without ending up on the wrong videos. It is your fault. Because from a young age, I knew what type of videos and websites to click on when I was a kid and which ones not to click on. What I really don't understand is why make it so that no one who watches that video can get personalized ads? Why not just make it so that if the person viewing the video is under 12, then they can't get personalized ads, but if someone who's older than 12 is viewing the same video, then they can get personalized ads. Then at least you wouldn't literally destroy the person's income, and you would probably still be, within legal boundaries. I don't think this law was properly thought through. Now, what really worries me is YouTube says they're going to use basically bots to try to detect what is made for kids and what isn't. But that's never a good idea. For example, with their advertiser-friendly bots that they had in the past, they kept falsely flagging my videos as not advertiser-friendly, even though they were completely within the community guidelines. Once I had a video that was just a train blowing its horn, and that got flagged because it quote-unquote wasn't suitable for all advertisers. Once I had a video of me riding in the elevator in the Freedom Tower, and that was flagged. So I really don't have that much confidence that these bots will know what they're doing. And the law is way too vague. Like, for example, they say that anything animated counts as targeted towards children, but I don't know about you, but I probably would not want children watching Rick and Morty. I don't think that show is targeted towards children at all. Yet, by this law's perspective, that would be considered targeted toward children. And I'm guessing the people who made this law have never heard of hentai, because that's definitely not targeted toward children. Colorful thumbnails are considered targeted toward children, even though I, despite being an adult, like colorful things. Like, where is the logic in this? Children like colors, therefore anything colorful is targeted toward children. I mean, I really don't think the people who made this law have any idea what they're doing. They probably don't even really understand how YouTube works in the first place. Now, luckily they did allow you to post what you feel about the law on their website, and I am going to be posting the link to that website in the description of this video so that you can post your comments on this website as well, because they really need to understand what terrible things they are doing with this law. Well, that's all I have to say about this new law. So let's just enjoy this ride the rest of the way to Ocracoke. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to arrive at Buxton, North Carolina. Transfers available to northbound local trains. Shuttle bus service is available to the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. We will be making a brief stop at this station, so please have all your belongings ready when the train comes to a complete stop and the doors open. Thank you for riding the Amtrak service from 30th Street Station to Miami. Once again, Buxton Station is next. Buxton, North Carolina, now arriving.
Commuters, your attention please. The next train approaching your station will be an express train and will not stop. Commuters, your attention please. The next train approaching your station will be an express train and will not stop.
This is a southbound, Amtrak-owned, local train to Miami. The next stop on this line will be Ocracoke Village.
Commuters, your attention please. The next train approaching your station will be an express train and will not stop. Commuters, your attention please. The next train approaching your station will be an express train and will not stop.
Stand clear of the doors. Welcome aboard the southbound Amtrak-owned service to Miami. We will be stopping at Ocracoke Village. Cape Lookout National Seashore, Atlantic Beach, Surf City, Carolina Beach, Caswell Beach, Myrtle Beach International Airport, Georgetown, Mount Pleasant, Cape Romaine Lighthouses, Charleston, Kawa Island, Hunting Island Lighthouse, Leamington Lighthouse, Harbortown Hilton Head Lighthouse, High Point Lighthouse, Tibby Island, Sapelo Lighthouse, St. Simon's Island, Little Cumberland Island Lighthouse, Amelia Island Lighthouse, Jacksonville Beach, St. Augustine, Daytona Beach, Cape Canaveral Lighthouse, Jupiter, West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, Hillsborough Inlet, Fort Lauderdale Beach, and Miami. I'm gonna have a word with our driver when we get to the next stop. That was a very dangerous application of the brakes. Can't have a word with him now because no one's allowed in the cab besides the driver while the train is in motion, as per Amtrak's own policy. Attention all passengers. We are now arriving at Ocracoke Village. Transfers available to northbound and southbound local and express services, as well as the Cape Lookout Lighthouse Shuttle.